We're live.
Awesome. This is great. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Of course.
No problem.
Do you want to introduce yourselves for all the card nerds who probably don't know about you guys yet?
Of course. We're the Million Dollar Peddlers. Do check us out over on YouTube. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we do a reselling channel over there. So if you're into reselling, anything at all like that, I primarily deal with paper items. So I do some cards from time to time. And Mr. Magazine here does magazines, toys, and does a fair number of cards as well.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
In fact, you have some cards up today, I believe.
I do have cards up today.
There you go.
A lot of collectibles and memorabilia too. I was peeking at your store earlier. 180,000 on eBay. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's we were at 300 some thousand years ago. We were kind of like getting away with some stuff little by little, knocking some stuff off to save the headaches. So.
Well, but also the one problem, and how long, if I don't mean to take over your show already.
Go ahead.
I was going to wait 5 minutes before I took it over. How long have you been on eBay, Paul?
2008 is when I started it. And so I've been selling off and on, mostly on since then.
So you go back to the days where it was so much per item, and they didn't, at one point it was a quarter for an extra picture, and you go back to those days where there were fees left and right. And at one point, Mr. Magazine and I both called a lot of items because it was getting, we were paying something like 5 to 10 cents a month per item above a certain number. And it's like, this has been on for 6 years, and we've paid $6 so far for an $8 item. It's time to.
I had 100,000. I had 100,000 photos that after a while people bought what they wanted, and I was paying more in fees than having it with the photos up than not selling any. So we just knocked them all down.
Yeah, it's funny because I when I started on eBay, I was selling my old Pokemon cards from when I was a kid. And it sucks looking back at the feedback because like a holographic base set Charizard I sold for $5, and I remember thinking like I can't believe someone gave me $5 for that.
Yeah. Crazy money now.
Yeah, but then I fell into like reselling a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just became like an everything seller for a long time, and then probably like 3 years ago now, I would guess around there is when I just decided to do cards and specialize, and then I started taking down everything else that wasn't cards. Oh man, I am not prepared for this. I'm sorry, everyone.
No worries.
First time live streaming. So I'm going to get right into the questions that I wanted to ask because the audience might not care about this, but I was really curious how you guys got your start in reselling and how you guys ended up meeting and becoming friends and working together. I want to know the origin story.
Well, I think we both come from families that had my Papa Goy since the early 1980s has had a comic book store over in Cleveland. And I, when I was 11, 12, 13 years old, I was going around to the convention with them. And I can tell you right now that a box of comic books is just over 30 pounds, which when you're 11 years old is pretty heavy. Yeah. And when your older cousin is helping as well, and he's carrying 2 boxes, and here you are trying to be just as tough carrying 60 pounds when you're 11 years old, that's a little bit tough. Yeah. But we got into that, and when I went away to college, and then when I got back, I started once I had a job, I started collecting cards again because obviously I stopped when I was away at college. Cards and comics again, and I went into Mr. Magazine's store, which has been around since when?
1973, when I was born.
Yep. And what did it start as?
It was a hobby shop. We had.
I thought it was a video shop.
No, it was hobbies and crafts because that's how I started collecting the original Star Wars figures. We had them in our shop there, and then we turned into a video shop, and then I think in the mid '80s we turned into a sports card shop, and now it's a little bit of everything.
And so back at the time, I had a house, and I had a roommate back at the time. And we would go around to different stores, and we went into his store, and he needed somebody to help. So my roommate goes, "Yeah, I can help you." And then the morning of when he was supposed to be coming into Mr. Magazine's store to help him, he goes, "I don't want to go in. I don't want to do this. You go in." And I go, "Okay." And dumbest mistake I ever made. I listened and I went in and started working for him, and it's all germinated from there.
Cool. That's awesome. I've always wondered. I don't think you guys have mentioned it on your show before. So cool.
I don't think anybody knew that I was like a last minute fill-in.
Yeah. That's awesome. And Dawn, thanks for pointing that out. It's strategic though. I don't know how it looks right now, but my camera is desynced from my audio. So I strategically placed myself behind here so it wouldn't be too distracting for my mouth to be moving and the words not to line up.
You don't want to look like a 1960s Japanese movie?
Only if Bruce Lee's in it. Cool. So I want to talk about some like ideas on eBay that I've been playing with right now and get your feedback and your thoughts on it. And I'm curious if maybe some of these things would be useful for you guys too. Before we went live, I mentioned that somebody had pointed out that there was this eBay patent that showed you all the ranking factors that lead to listings going higher. And one thing that really stood out to me was the free shipping. I think everybody kind of suspected free shipping gives you a boost in the rankings, and the patent confirms that. So it says that that is a ranking factor. But then the other one is there's this graph that it shows where it gives you they'll rank it based on what how they expect the listing to perform, and after a certain amount of time they change the ranking to being based on how the listing actually is performing. So after a certain amount of time, if the listing hasn't sold, then they consider it a terrible listing and they demote it pretty bad. And that's actually why the end and sell similar trick works so well, because your listing that isn't selling, instead of having that weight be based on the fact that it hasn't sold in so long, it gets that fresh listing. So now eBay will be ranking it based on their expected results. So you get that bump in the results.
All right. Can I interject?
Mm-hmm.
The only question I would have about that is, let's just say that a new listing is ranked somewhere between number 1 being the best listing ever and number 10, because there's a finite number of new listings. So a new listing would be 1 through 10, and then older stale listings would be 11 through 100.
Yeah.
So you've got this old listing that is down at 25 or 30. I understand you redo it, it's going to boost it, but wouldn't the algorithm say this is similar to a thing that didn't sell and rank it at number 10? Because the expectation is it's not going to be a good listing because previously a very similar, which happened to be the same exact listing, didn't sell. So it'll be knocked down. It'll still be better than 25, but it'll be 10 as opposed to being expected to be a high listing.
Well, and at what age is it an old one? Is it a year old, 6 months old? Because we have some that are
I've got some that are 10, 15 years old. Yeah,
10, 15 years old.
Yeah.
You work your way backwards, oldest to newest, I guess.
Yeah, I think that probably will play a factor, because they do have some patents and some papers that they released on their tech blog about how they are incorporating images into the search results and into the recommended results. So, for example, if you search like red pillow, it'll show you listings that are of a red pillow, but don't have red pillow in the title, just for example. So it can tell that even though that keyword isn't explicitly used in the listing, the fact that the image is of that thing, they'll still show that in like the similar products are recommended for you, or even as a like promoted listing, they'll recognize it that way. So I think that if they were going to try to do something to make end and sell similar work less, that would be possible. I just started doing it again more aggressively, and like I'm doing it like every 3 days now sometimes, and I've seen a huge spike. So it's something that in the past I didn't really care about too much, with the 100,000 singles of random things that people don't even search. It doesn't really have the same punch that it does when you sell like more desirable lots at a better price.
Well, and here's my argument against. I've got a couple of arguments against end and sell similar in general, and that's because of the size of our store. Especially
if I ended 100,000, I'd be going over my limit and paying the shot. So I'd have to see what reading room I have at the end of every month and do it at the end of every month and just go up to where I max out.
If I wanted to, and I think if I wanted to do end and sell similar, which I've never done, if I wanted to do it, I think what I would have to do, and I think anybody with a larger store, a legacy store, almost would have to do would be, number one, I've got some items that, again, as you say, nobody's going to search on that Jay Buhner card. They're not.
Yeah.
If they find it, they find it. They happen to be specifically looking for it.
Mhm.
I've got things like that you absolutely have to be looking for that item for it to sell.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how stale or new the listing is. It's the only one in the world. You have to be specifically looking for it. So what I would suggest if you have a larger store and you want to get into end and sell similar would almost be create store categories that however you do it, maybe you put ESS at the end of the store category name or something like that. And those are the ones that you aggressively end and sell similar, because I could see end and sell similar working for common items like a Time magazine or a Life magazine, things like that. I could see it working for.
Sure.
You get into some obscure one-of-a-kind item that is building schematic for a house on Edgemere Drive in Rochester. You're either selling it or you're not selling it. Doesn't matter really where it is in search.
And you have a lot of stuff like that, so it wouldn't benefit you other, like you said, the common stuff.
Yeah. So that would be my thought to somebody new or just wanting to do end sell similar would be, hey, these are the things I'm going to end sell similar, because again, then you bump against it as well. Most obscure random stuff after it. Okay.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and that's the same reason why I didn't really do it when I had the big store too. I actually have an argument against it. I have this whole idea that it's still in the works, but it's working really well for a handful of listings right now. And essentially what I'm trying to do is emulate Costco, where I have fewer SKUs available for customers.
Hot dog if I show up?
Yeah, that's only for local pickup. Then you can get the hot dog. You guys can interpret that how you want.
Hey, an adult channel here. I didn't know.
But yeah, so what I'm doing with this concept is I have it for like a lot of 100 Garbage Pail Kids cards, like low to mid grade 80s Garbage Pail Kids cards. And what I've done is I made it so that my store keeps everything in stock, keeps every listing active, even when it's out of stock. And so when something sells, the listing doesn't die. It just goes to zero quantity. And what I'm doing with this concept is I'm experimenting with all different kinds of listings, but the ones that are winners, I'm keeping forever. So I don't do end and sell similar on them. And the idea is that after those 100 Garbage Pail Kids cards sell, I delete all the scans and I re-upload new scans and set the quantity back to 1. And I keep doing that. And for the Garbage Pail Kid lot, I've sold like over 20 of them since doing that. And the listing says, 20 sold, last one available. 3 people have this in their cart. I have 50 watchers or however many it is. And I've been doing this strategically. So like Michael Jordan lots, that one's another good one. I have some bulk boxes that works really well on. And the advantage of this is, since you keep those listings and they have an age to it, they have that track record of selling now. So if you keep this small catalog of SKUs that sell really well, they don't need that end sell similar bump because their track record is the end sell similar bump, basically. So as soon as you hit that one quantity back in, traffic skyrockets. And oops, I broke my camera. Here, let me see. I'll share my screen. And I'll pull up a tab real quick to show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been really powerful, because what happens is when I restock a listing, it will notify everybody who's watching it saying like, oh, it's back in stock, like come check it out. So sometimes, especially with like the Michael Jordan lots, sometimes it'll sell immediately once I restock it. Geez, sorry, I'm not very good at the StreamYard thing. Let me present. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to turn the camera off. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so anyway, the benefit of that, you get the restocking bump, you get the bump in the search results when it comes back up. One of the things I noticed, I was talking to somebody else about this in a Discord chat, and when I restocked, I had a Larry Bird lot of 20 cards for like $24.99 for 20 cards shipped. And when I restocked it and put the 1 in it, it hadn't had any activity in like a month because it was out of stock. But when I put that one quantity back in and it sold, I looked at the traffic report and it said I had 20,000% increase in organic traffic. So,
Wow.
so it basically, once I restocked it, it just shot it right back up to number one in the search results because the conversion rate on it was so good.
Right.
And that's got me thinking about eBay in a whole new way. And this is probably difficult with like ephemera and one of a kind type stuff. But I think this can apply more generally to all different categories where you productize a group of things, a lot of things, and you just sell that lot over and over again. And
Right.
once it
It would
sells,
work
you change the pictures and upload it.
It would work in ephemera because you could do a lot of 20 trade cards. You could do a lot of 50 postcards. You could do a lot of, so anything you want a lot out, it definitely would work for.
Yeah, there you go. And I think there's a lot of people who do this with like their stock photos, and those listings perform really well. Some of my listings, like the bulk boxes, I use stock photos for. But I think when you're charging a premium for something, people like with the cards, they'll want to see the exact scans. Or if you're selling like a lot of 10 men's large Ralph Polo button-up shirts, they'll want to see pictures of them, obviously. So I'm thinking about that and how it could apply more broadly, just because the results have been so strong. And the only difficult part really is keeping the right stuff in stock and identifying what these winners are so that I can build out this catalog of a limited number of high performing SKUs and basically transforming the things that don't perform, like your Jay Bunner cards. Those go in the bulk box, and the bulk boxes perform great. So that way, everything that comes into the system can be categorized into, okay, these cards fit into their own SKUs, so I'm going to pull those out to be put into their appropriate listing, and everything else goes into the bulk box, which has its own listing too. And you kind of turn the whole process into this like assembly line, and you're just filling out the winning listings, and then all the junk goes into the winning junk listings for the people who like that kind of stuff or want it for crafts or whatever.
Well, can I give you a suggestion for another area to think about in the cards, which you may already do? Teams.
Yeah. Yep. I've
New York
tested
Yankees, a lot of 50 New York Yankees cards or whatever.
I got a better idea to make Paul a lot of money.
Okay.
You come up to Rochester for a long weekend, up in a hotel room, a suite, lots of 5-star restaurants, and you can make our stores way better so we can get more than one sale a day.
Yeah, we'll have to do that sometime.
Whatever your secret is, you bring it over and sit at my desk for a few hours, whatever you got to do, and sales start increasing, and we'll throw you big bucks.
We'll take you to Costco, and it's $2.50 hot dogs for the entire weekend, of course.
Yeah, we'll have to make that happen sometime because I would love to really dig in because
we're not very efficient. I can tell you right now what we got going on. So
no,
it wouldn't even take you long for just a few minor things to tweak, like our store categories, the sales, the promotions. Yeah,
What are your feelings about store categories?
I like them, but I use eBay's categories, and the reason for that is because what I've learned from dealing with so many different customers is that people don't understand how eBay works, how the site works. Like some people don't understand how to send offers. They don't understand how to send messages. Some people don't even know how the shopping cart works or like coupon codes or anything like that. So to keep it simpler for that like lowest common denominator, I use the default eBay store categories because if there's somebody who's maybe new to the platform or just doesn't understand how those features work because they've never cared about them, then they can't be confused by it, by why my category is different, why they can't find the one that they're looking for, that they're used to seeing. So I stuck with just the default store categories.
See, I think they're potentially a tremendous thing. I think that eBay, for whatever reason, has taken away a lot of the emphasis. I think that if they did stores properly and made it easy to get into our stores and easy to navigate in our stores, I think that branding would make a huge difference. And I think that conversions of people that knew what they were doing with decent stores, with decent store categories, I think would increase. I think that eBay is more interested in the overall site, which I do understand that part, but they don't necessarily push the stores enough. It's difficult to get into somebody's store and figure out how to search around with the categories. Sometimes they make it very, very difficult to do with some of their defaults and some of the ways they set things up.
Well, it's got to be a low percentage of people that actually use the category. Since I don't, I just go into the search engine like you would Amazon. Type in whatever you want. I mean, most people are, not that it's lazy, but it's all they know.
Right, but the whole idea of the store is if I can get you into the doors of my store, then they should have it. If you enter my store, it should be jumping out at you. Here are the categories, the top categories, top performing. Here's what you're looking for, and they should be pushing that. I don't think they do nearly enough on that end.
How many do you have?
120.
But that's the problem. I have 300. Do people really want to scroll through all of them?
Right, but I would but I have mine set up in such a way that all similar categories are together. I have mine ordered in such a way that similar categories are together. So you go, oh, upstate New York, that's what I'm interested in. Oh, he's got New York Rochester, he's got New York Buffalo, that kind of stuff.
It's probably the reason for the one sale you had yesterday.
It is that store category helped.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at your store right now, and it looks like for you, Paperboy, it doesn't look like you're using any of the store features. And so what you can actually do when you go to your store, you can set it up so that you can highlight different categories. Let me pull up my store.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Come to Rochester, look at this. Because see, we can't see you. See, that's the problem. We got to see you right in person, right at the computer.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'll tell you how mine is set up right now. So the very first thing you see, and I'll put a link in chat. Maybe I'll just share my screen too, and hope it doesn't break StreamYard. But to answer O'Leary here, the out of stock option, you have to, it's all or nothing. You can't selectively do it. So it is for some of my one-off sales. I do have to manually end those listings. But yeah, that's how that works. And let me see. I'm just going to catch up on chat real quick, and then I'm going to struggle.
What about if instead of doing it that way, what if you use the quantity and then you use quantity 2 on something rather, because you've got 2 different Michael Jordan lots, but you would have different lots, so that wouldn't work. I was just thinking out loud. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, because that's the dream, really. Because if you could charge the same like premium for the cards with a stock image, then you'd be golden. But people want to see the cards. They're willing to spend more and pay it closer to the full value once they can see it. So that's why I've been doing this. It's kind of tedious, but it's not that bad. I basically just scan them and I click a button, and then I manually upload them to the listing. And it's one of the things that is kind of nice that I might build another little tool around is when I go to my listings, I can filter them by which ones are out of stock and have them sorted by watchers. So that way I can see which ones are the most popular that I should actively seek cards to restock them. And it kind of gives me like a to-do list for sourcing.
Dumb question. You do it that way with the quantity. Do things that are out of stock count against your listings?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah. So for your store or Mr. Magazine store, you're going to definitely have to
call them regularly. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's share my entire screen and see if this breaks or not. All right. Yeah. So I think this was your store. Is it right?
Yeah, that is my store.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I didn't get the wrong one. But yeah, so you have your banner, which is good. One of the things that I think people should add too is the About Us video, because that's a relatively new feature. And I think that I have all these hypotheses about eBay. This one I don't have any evidence for, but I've experienced this with Google for like SEO on Google. With like they have these My Business page, Google My Business. They're calling it something else now, but I still call them GMBs. And what they would do is they would release all these new features for the GMBs, and nobody would ever use them or update them. And my hypothesis was that if I use every single feature that Google offers, even if it doesn't really make sense for the business, but I just use it anyways, they're going to rank me higher because Google wants to get data on how their users interact with their new features. So they have they have a motivation to collect that data. And the best way to collect that data is to show the listings with those features enabled more frequently. And my hypothesis is that eBay would do the same thing. So if they want to see how the videos are performing, they'll show the videos, the stores with the videos higher than other stores. But yeah, this is what I was talking about with the categories. So you can set up your featured categories here. I just made these icons on with AI and then change the colors in Photoshop. But then you can feature certain items. So I feature some of my best sellers here, and the auctions. You can go through and really customize all this. So let me just manage my store. We'll see. You can add your promotions and discounts too. So newly listed is automatic. Featured items, you can add or remove these sections here. Top picks, I think I added these ones myself. This was my marketing banner, but I got to turn the coupon back on. But yeah, I think that would be a good way to do it, because especially when they're clicking your link in the eBay store, you can it gives you a landing page to kind of self-direct which one you're interested in. So like by sport here, I think works well.
Cool.
And that's actually one of the things I noticed with the lots too. The player lots have been doing way better for me than the team lots.
Okay.
But the team lots are really good. And actually for vintage, team lots do better than just miscellaneous lots. It's very nuanced. It's strange. Let me see. My Garbage Pail Kid lot is out of stock. I'll show you what I'm talking about with it though. Sorry, this is going extra slow with the streaming. And I broke eBay. This is the bug of the week.
The glitch of the week. Yeah.
Glitch of the week. All right, so here it is. And I'm starting to transition away to use these like blue backgrounds instead of the other ones, because the other ones are more busy. And what I'm trying to do is create like a coherent brand so that people have purchased from me before can like recognize my listing immediately when they see them in the search results because of that blue background.
See, I do the same thing with really bad pictures.
Yeah, and I think the same thing works with like new buyers. Is the blue kind of stands out. But yeah, so you can see here, if I had it in stock, it would say last one available, but shows you 3 people have this in their cart. They put the trending, people want this. They give you all these like little perks on the page itself, so that if I'm coming here looking to buy these cards, you're like, wow, I better hurry up and get this, because I want to buy it, but 3 people already have it in their cart, so I need to buy it like right now. And yeah, it's so powerful.
Well, what I'm noticing is you seem to be, and what you're doing isn't right or wrong, and what we're doing isn't right or wrong, but you seem to be doing pretty much the opposite of what we're doing. It sounds like your goal ultimately, which is a great goal, is to have 250 listings or whatever that you just constantly replenish and put up.
Right. And
that makes it a lot easier for management, a lot easier for everything than us with the 25,000 and 180,000 listings. So I definitely applaud where you're going, and I definitely see the benefits of it. The problem, of course, is we would have to start new stores to implement something other like that, because we can't tear down the 180,000 and I realize you're not.
I would love to. I thought about it many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anybody new starting out, or if you are getting a second store, I think your ideas definitely have merit, and definitely are a lot better than what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it, like, free shipping would be huge. I think that would be crucial and you can bulk change it like 200 or 2,000 at a time, something like that. Just bump the price up by $8 or whatever.
It's easy and cart. You kind of have to with sports cards, because we did for a while, then we stopped, and then we weren't selling anything because everyone sells cards for free shipping. So we had to kind of get back into free shipping for cards. And Paperweight tried it out.
Yeah, I went free shipping for about 3 or 4 years, and it seems as though, let me ask you a quick question. That patent that you were talking about, roughly when is that from?
Oh, I can actually pull that up right now. I think I have it. Other bookmarks?
Do you know what year that would be?
That's a good question.
Because they promised the bump on free shipping, and I did the free shipping, and a couple of years in, I said, I'm not noticing a bump anymore. So it makes me wonder if they didn't go and change it. Remember how if you had free returns, it was almost impossible to get a negative feedback? That
Yeah.
was one of the big things, to have free returns. And that's no longer the case, even though they didn't really publicize it. My feeling was that they kind of de-emphasized free shipping at some point and never bothered to tell everybody that, oh, by the way, just from my own experience, and just from my experience on that. So I've started charging shipping again, and I didn't change it on the 3 to 4 years worth of listings that had free shipping. Those still have free shipping on them. So now I kind of have a mix of the two, and I'm not really noticing. I mean, I'm selling more stuff now, but I'm also listing more stuff now. So I'm not really noticing any major difference from having or not having free shipping in the categories that I sell in, which are not cards.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. So obviously, if all your competitors are charging free shipping and you're charging shipping,
Yeah,
that is going to
small
put you
cheap items like DVDs. You know, there's certain categories of medium mail items, VHS. A lot of them people do free shipping.
Mhm.
But, you know, if I'm selling
bowling balls.
you know, a GI Joe ship that's 3 feet long, my employee better get the weight right, and then
Yeah.
to jack up the price of it compared to everyone else too. They're going to visually see a higher price because the shipping's added into it. Because you can't, you know, sell a $10 item if it costs 20 to ship it.
Right.
You're gonna
Mhm.
make it 30 or whatever. So
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is the patent here. I dropped a link to it in the chat if anyone's interested.
2017.
I couldn't
2017.
rotate.
Okay, and that's funny because that's about when shortly after that I went into free shipping, because eBay basically did an announcement somewhere or other that free shipping would boost you in search.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So that was from then. Like I said, I wonder if they didn't tweak things and put a little less weight on the free shipping. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, because one of the things in their tech blog that they talk about is they have a way to basically hot swap algorithms, so they can like push a button and completely change the algorithm for a certain collection of users. And so instead of getting, you know, the main one, let's say, they can just test a new algorithm on like a group of people like immediately.
So
It's real fancy.
You hear stories that people will call eBay after a couple of days of being really down on sales, and eBay will say, okay, we're going to reset your store, is what people have said that they have heard from eBay. We'll reset your store, and then sales start coming in. Is there any credence to what they're saying?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, but from a tech standpoint, does that make sense?
To reset your store.
That is the word that is always used. People always say that the tech said, yeah, or the CSR said, okay, I can reset your store for you, and then sales start coming in.
So what does that even mean they're doing?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking Paul.
I wonder if maybe it's resetting their like account score, because part from that patent, part of the ranking is like your score as a seller, which includes like the free shipping, your business policies, your feedback, all that good stuff. So I wonder if maybe they reset your score on that, or maybe they're looking at like your account, because so all the patent says is this is how they calculate listings individually. But if eBay is following the same logic as Google, which they are, they should also have a metric that gives your account a score overall based on all of your listings. So not just ranking scores for your listings, but ranking scores for your account overall based off of based on all of your listing scores collectively. That's the word I was looking for. So I think if maybe all your listings, let's say they all have low scores, they all suck, they've been on there forever, they're priced too high, pictures suck, and that I think could bring down your account level score. So maybe what resetting your eBay account does, maybe it's resetting one of those ranking metrics. So like an account level ranking based on your listings performance. Maybe they can reset that. That would be my wild guess. Yeah. I don't know for sure, but I think that they definitely have some way of scoring your account overall, not just based on the business policies and other metrics that they publicized in the patent, but I think they also do it based on the collective of the performance of your listings, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just, again, just kind of jogged my memory when you're saying that they have different algorithms. I was almost wondering, hey, we have this algorithm, high selling algorithm. We'll set this guy into this for a day or two and get his sales back up. Then we'll move back to the crappy algorithm he's always in.
Yeah.
Now, I know Mr. Magazine does have a hard out in 25 minutes, and I know you had a few other questions that you wanted to ask us.
I got a question, though.
Sure.
Paul, what's your, have you made any progress with that program you were going to use with Burbank cards?
Oh, I didn't tell anyone about that. Yeah. So surprise, everybody. I was talking to Burbank. They wanted to use the app for the lots. So the web app version is currently just not happening. I had a developer helping me out with that, and we got partially through it, and then he couldn't finish it. So that's on the back burner. But what I have been doing instead, since I'm like incapable of learning, apparently, I'm really struggling trying to build the web app myself, like doing all the back end coding. But the desktop versions work. So for single cards, that's already portable. I actually have sold it to, several shops and eBay sellers where they now have the same singles listing software that I do, where you take your ChronoCard export and you just run the script and it's done. You just upload the CSV. That's huge because if you have multiple eBay stores, or if you just have a huge account, you can save like the most I've saved a company right now was over 10 grand a year in fees to their for their subscriptions that they have to pay to do the eBay connector on multiple stores and all the AI things and yada yada. For the lots, I didn't have a portable desktop version before, but now I think I've figured out how to make it portable, and I'm also working on like a graphical user interface, so that way you don't have to look at like a command line blinking at you when you do use it. So soon. That's what I've been saying.
You need Cronzio for all that, or no?
Do I need what?
What's the software called? The card software?
Oh, ChronoCard. Yeah, it's all based on ChronoCard.
Okay, so even in the lots, you need that as well.
Yeah. I could make it so you don't need ChronoCard, but then there's going to be more manual data entry. So I haven't made that yet, but I mean, it could be possible. Maybe that's something maybe to build up my web app skills. Maybe I make like a little web app where you upload all your images, all your scans, and then it spits out the combined images for you. That could be something to experiment with.
Yeah, we got to do a lot of talking down the road.
Yeah. I want to try to have it working by like the end of the year. And I don't know, I had a lot of time, not this week, but the week before, I had a lot of time where I was really coding the app, and I got like halfway done in a week. So if I can just sneak some more time on it and get it to the point where I can test it on my other machines, then I have some people already from the Discord who want to test it out too. But yeah, it's huge, and I don't know, it saves a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you sell any cards on Amazon?
No, I used to sell a bunch of Legos, but when I tried to get ungated for cards, they weren't even accepting new people. This was like, I don't know, maybe it was like 2019-ish when I tried.
Yep.
But yeah, some of the prices they charge there, it's crazy. They're getting all the moms and wives who don't really know about cards, but love their family. So
exactly,
all these dealers get to rip them off. Kind of sucks. I don't know. If I was on Amazon, I would price fairly and just blow everything out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When we could, so originally we could only list if it was in Amazon's database, and then we'd obviously undercut people by a penny or whatever just to be competitive. And now we're ungated to list our own cards from scratch, which we weren't before. So for whatever reason, we could have a $5 card on eBay that there's none at all on Amazon, and we could throw $10 on it and maybe sell it for $8 with our sale or something like that.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We get a little more of it.
That would be crazy. Actually, now you got the gears turned now. We'll have to talk offline about this, but I bet you we could set something up where you use ChronoCard. It does like all the AI to fill in the data for the cards. You just got to like manually check it to confirm that the AI got it right.
Because my listers are just manually listing cards, and they're doing 15, 20 cards an hour. And that's the old days,
They
some time we'll get together and talk.
Yeah, because I bet you you could scan them through the scanner, run them through ChronoCard, and then you could export from ChronoCard, and then we could create a little script that takes the ChronoCard export and formats it for uploading to Amazon. So basically you would just click the export button, click the script, and then you upload your CSV to Amazon. Everything else is done.
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
That would be sick, man. Yeah, maybe you could start selling some cards for me on Amazon.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got it, man.
I got some PSA 10 Zach Wilson rookie cards. Not to flex or anything.
You throw weird cards up on Amazon and we're like, this will never sell, and it'll sell some like obscure insert of a guy that's worth $5, but someone will buy him, for 5 or 10 or whatever. So it is interesting. It's a whole different beast than eBay.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot what we were talking about before.
I apologize. I interrupted and spoiled the whole Burbank thing. So.
Oh no, that's all right. Oh yeah, no, it's okay because they're off eBay now anyways. So I think even if I had it live for them to try, they wouldn't care.
Our show. Everybody out there, come to our live show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. Mr. Magazine may at some point be awake for it, and that would be a real plus if he heard everything we talked about on the show.
I have a memory issue. My mother had dementia. I think I caught it from her. Jeez.
See what I put up with every single week, Paul.
Oh yeah,
every day. Yeah.
Then I know you had a few other questions you were going to ask us.
Nope. Actually, we went through my whole list. I just wanted to be nosy about the origin story. That was my biggest thing. And then just talk about card stuff and run my crazy ideas past you and see what you think and see what everyone in chat and the comments think.
Now, I know we were talking at some point, and everybody out there that watches this, hopefully you do check out our channel as well. And you do check out the haul video that we have up. Just put one up this last Monday for Madison Bachville. And I know Paul's going to be watching that because he wasn't able to make it this year, even though it's just about 35 minutes away from his house. But I know he'll be going to it next year. There's also the show in June as well. So definitely do check that haul video out as well. And Paul, you'll be watching it, I think, and then you'll say, oh, okay. And it's always good to watch videos like that because you get kind of the lay of the land as well. We've done about 5 or 6 haul videos from Madison Bachville. And if you watch them all together, you see some landmarks and things like that as well. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times if I'm going to something that I've never gone to before, it can be super overwhelming. But then if you actually have like an anchor, like, oh, I recognize that Texaco sign for those videos. I know that's right near the middle of town. It at least gives you something to start on so you're not completely flailing about, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I watched that video, and those like lacrosse tickets or whatever they were, those were really cool. I'm gonna take notes, so next time I'm gonna make it out the day before you do. I'm gonna go to all your favorite booths, and I'm gonna buy everything that looks like something you would sell.
There you go. And then you'll have a 25,000 item store that doesn't sell.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
No, I was going to sell it all to you or give it to you to sell and whatnot.
Okay, there we go.
You have to fill in the day. Are you still doing the whatnots?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Just had a show tonight, as a matter of fact. Going to give you a quick little preview. We got a video coming up Friday, which we usually don't have videos. Usually our videos are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 9 a.m. We put up the new videos. We have 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays are the live show. When we do a haul video, those come out on Mondays. So we probably do 10 to 12 haul videos a year. And every once in a while, we sneak in a Friday. And it's actually funny that you mentioned about the images over on eBay. This last Friday, we actually mentioned that I think it's huge news that eBay is using the images. And I think that it's actually changed how I'm listing things because I'm not a visual person. So pictures don't really matter too much to me. I'm more... If you tell me it's got a tear on the bottom left, I read it and I understand that better than seeing the tear on the picture. That's just the way that I'm wired. I'm wired verbally as opposed to visually. But obviously, if eBay is putting a lot more emphasis on photos, I'm actually trying to make sure that my pictures are better now because I think that's going to make a big difference in search.
Yeah, definitely. And especially with how it's recommending products. That was something that was and still kind of is a concern for me with my lots is because they don't look like anybody else's. So it makes me think when somebody's looking at somebody else's Ken Griffey Jr. lot, mine might not necessarily show up in that like similar items pane because I don't have like a messy stack of cards. I have like the nice grid of everything.
Well, how about doing the messy stack of cards as your first picture and then doing your grid as the second picture?
It's something that I'll probably test at some point. I did do that with a lot for like rookie cards, just 100 rookie cards of like basketball players or whatever, and it actually sold really well with that as like a stock image. So it might not be a bad idea to test it out that way. It just adds another step to the process, which
Oh, trust me, I can take messy, nasty pictures in no time at all.
yeah.
Do you still recommend the white background?
No, they've changed that, right, Paul?
Okay.
Yeah, because Google will show whatever background. Like some of the photos that Google will show in the Google shopping feed now are just embarrassing. Like they should have some standards still. Like I get, like you don't need the white background.
The Google feed, is that what you're trying to do now?
One thing I will say though about the scan thing is like while I'm have that concern about it potentially being a drawback or weakness when people are looking at somebody else's lots. The benefit of it is if somebody's looking at my lot, then all of my listings look the same. So sometimes I've seen it where literally every other recommended similar item is all my stuff, and there's none of my competitors are showing up in that feed, which is a nice silver lining. But I don't know. I'm competitive. I want to be in their feeds. I don't care if they're in my feeds because I think people will still buy my stuff. But I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you take a couple of pictures with bad glare, I guarantee you some of my stuff will show up.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so we were talking about Whatnot there. Yeah, I'm still doing it. I'm doing shows, generally speaking, 2 shows on Tuesday, 10 a.m. postcards, 4 p.m. ephemera. Wednesdays tend to be magazines at 4 p.m. all times Eastern. And Thursday would be books at 4 p.m. And then I'm on various trains as they come up over on Whatnot as well. I am definitely upping my game over on Whatnot. So do check Papergoy out on Whatnot if you haven't already. I have 4 auctions laid out in the living room, and that's what those are. Those aren't just messes of stuff. I do have 4 auctions laid out there. Once I get those 4 up, I will have all of my auctions for September up. So I will be 4 to 5 weeks ahead. The reason why I think that is helping me a lot on Whatnot is, number one, you come over to Whatnot and you check out my auctions. You've got 16 auctions that you can go through. You can pre-bid. So you look and you say, oh, I like his ephemera auctions. I got 4 ephemera auctions up. So instead of you just pre-bidding on next week's, you have the ability to pre-bid on 3-week, 4-week out auctions. The other thing is, with me building auctions up into October now, that's what I'm beginning to manually put together auctions in October. Well, if I'm shopping at the end of August for my October auction, the quality of the stuff is definitely going to be better too, as opposed to the old days when I had the day job. It's like, oh, shoot, I got an auction next Tuesday. I got to get some ephemera together. Well, you take junky stuff because you have to sell something. So the quality of the listings having a month lead time is just definitely improving over there. So you got to give it a try over there, Paul.
Yeah, I'll use your code when I do it. I don't know. I think everybody at this point can probably see I don't do as well live as I do just ranting into the ether by myself in the upstairs basement.
Oh, that could be your shtick.
Oh, yeah. Come buy all your cards from the guy who
like,
trips over his words and has dead air.
You'd be like crazy uncle in the attic's cards. And
there we go.
Like,
I'll get a helium tank and just hit it like a vape the whole time.
There you go. So you're thinking branding. That's good.
Yeah. Definitely got to erase the Paul Carl from that. The crazy uncle. That's the angle.
Oh, things are going great. US Sports Cards. Haven't seen you over on our channel. Hopefully you do check us out as well. Like and subscribe, as all the big YouTubers say, and we say it too.
Yeah. Definitely. Good to see you here, US Sports Cards. He drops in a lot and watches some of my videos.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Yeah, we've chatted a few times.
As well. We're a little bit different. We are a reselling channel, but I think you will get some entertainment over there.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt.
I did it with Kurt. Haven't seen him before either. So come on over. Check out the $1 Million Peddlers. But,
Ooh.
well, it's exhausting doing it live, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not for me. I don't say much.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need a co-host. I just need a co-host, and then we can just sit on camera, me and you, Mr. Magazine, and our co-host can just talk.
Yeah, I can see the paper going.
Yeah.
No, you're doing well. You're doing very well. Anything else you're looking to plug? I know you're almost monetized, so that's good. You got the eBay thing going on.
Yeah, not really. I mean, just the app. Once it's done, I'm gonna push that out because I think I'm gonna get a little deeper here. I guess go on a little rant. So one of the reasons why I rant about all these ideas and all the stuff that's working really well for me is because since everything I do is eBay focused, and I really don't want to put the money into like having my own site and do all that. I like getting the free eBay traffic, mostly free eBay traffic. So one of the things that I think is really important for eBay sellers is to, especially with card sellers, is to have like a higher level of service and standards. Because I buy a lot of cards on eBay to resell, and the way that these people package stuff is just atrocious. The like customer service, the time it takes to ship, like how bad their listings are. There's so many things that could be improved. And I get stuff sometimes where I'm like, if this was my first time purchasing something on eBay, I would never come back to the site again. And I get those regularly. And I don't want that to happen, obviously, because I have a vested interest as a shareholder and as a seller. So I want eBay sellers to do well and to like keep repeat customers coming back to the platform, and ideally back to my store, whoever's store. Like it's like a team game. We all are playing on the same team, but we all want to be the superstars too. But you can't be the superstar in an empty stadium. So I'm trying to keep the eBay stadium full.
So let me interrupt for a moment. Those people that you're buying from, are they newer sellers or are they established sellers who should know better?
Both.
Okay. Because I give a newer seller, I do give a little more leeway to. I think back to some of the things that Mr. Magazine and I did back in 2002 with our packing. I don't even remember. I don't even remember if I used bags, to be honest with you. I don't know if I did or not. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I'm sure I used one of the things I used to do to ship books out, because I was too cheap to buy boxes, was how you get the I guess is it a 12 pack or a 24 pack of you get the cases of the flats. Basically flats. I took a flat and I would cut it in half. I'd put the book in and then tape the flat up. So it looked absolutely like a first grader's art project.
Oh, yeah.
And that would it worked. I mean, it kept the thing safe, but it really, really looked bad. We made our
own boxes. We didn't buy boxes. I remember that one old gentleman who worked for me, bro.
Yeah.
His table had all these cuts in it from using the ruler for cutting cardboard all the time,
Yep. And it was just because we were starting out and we were like, I'm not going to spend all that money. I can do that. I can get these flats for free. I get them at auctions for free, and I can get free packing materials. And at some point you up your game. At some point you realize, I might be spending 60 cents on a box or $1 on a box, but A, it looks more professional. B, I literally take the box and tape it as opposed to cutting it and then using a lot more tape to make it so, I miscut that and so on. So I do have a lot of sympathy for the newer sellers and a lot of empathy, and say, it is a little bit difficult for them starting out. They might not know better, or if they're not selling in their niche. If you're, Mr. Magazine can tell you the trouble we've had in the past when he sold neon lights, because that's not something we usually sell. And I'm sure whoever bought the neon light was like, who packed this? Well, we had no idea that you had to wrap every single piece of the neon and so on. It just is stuff that we just did not know back then. So the newer sellers, again, I understand, but if you've been an established seller in that niche, you definitely should know better.
Yeah, for sure. I like how you mentioned the first grade arts project, because when I'm ranting about it online, I always call it say that sellers are too busy doing arts and crafts instead of like shipping properly and saving all their time and effort.
We get free boxes, but only if it goes priority. If it's not going priority,
medium mail, ground advantage, all that stuff.
And nowadays, very little goes priority, honestly, because they've made the ground advantage so competitive price wise.
Yeah.
I actually shipped out a 5-pound book today. It was actually a bound volume of a magazine. Well, you're not allowed to ship media mail through the magazine category, even though this is a bound volume, so it's bound without ads. So it legally can go media mail. Had to ship it off Ground Advantage. Ground Advantage was actually cheaper than media mail would have been.
Oh yeah, that's
Huh.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Northeast, East Coast, yeah, it's way cheap.
Yeah, it was like $6.18 to ship out a 5-pound book using it Ground Advantage, and it would have been like $8 and something shipping it out media. Yep.
Yeah, we've been doing more UPS lately, actually. For Amazon gives an option of UPS Ground Saver, and Amazon doesn't give enough shipping for anything we sell. So we're looking for the cheapest way, anyways, and it's cheaper than media mail most of the time. UPS insured Ground Saver. It's crazy.
But you were also mentioning there about how we're all in it together on eBay. I am going to say, at least in the categories that I sell it in, over on Whatnot. Now, I've heard that the breaker side of things is crazy. I've heard the sports cards is crazy and cutthroat and terrible. Sure. I've heard the luxury goods is a cesspool. But you get up into the categories that I sell in, the books and the ephemera categories, everybody is in it together. Everybody understands that, again, like you're saying with eBay, that we can all grow the site. And if the site grows, it's better for all of us. And you definitely see a lot of that camaraderie. Now, maybe it's because, I'm making these numbers up because I don't know, but, there might be 100 heavy duty ephemera sellers that show up in, in all these different trains and all that kind of stuff. Well, we all understand that, hey, we got to bring new buyers in. And if a new buyer comes into me, well, they're going to buy from you. They're going to buy from. Hey, that's great for all of us because it builds the site. So you definitely do still see that camaraderie over on Whatnot. So you're absolutely right about eBay, about the importance of that. And again, it's even more so on a small site like Whatnot.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I really got to try Whatnot sometime. I think you sold me on it.
Well, that's good. Come on by. If you need $3 lots of ephemera, I'm your guy. I'm your guy.
Give me some sport themed ones.
Hey, you know something? I do have coming up. You know what FDCs are?
Nope.
First day covers.
Oh yeah.
Magazine
covers, right?
No, stamps.
Oh, stamps. Yeah. FDCs.
With the first day covers. I have I've got some first day covers baseball and first day covers football coming up in an upcoming auction. 1968 and 1970. So if you like sports, I'm throwing a little bit of sports stuff in there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I got to learn more about that stuff too.
But
just out of curiosity.
Yeah. No, and the other thing too is if you use my link, you get some free money to spend over there.
Perfect. So I'll get my free money, give it back to you, and sell some first day covers for the first time.
There you go. They're pretty cool. And then I get money too if you use the link, and I can buy stuff.
Usually the people that get the free money from Paperboy make more than him.
That is absolutely true.
This is semi-related. They have the new stamps have been out for a few days now or whatever. They got some really cool like Hank Aaron forever stamps at the post office now.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, they're kind of neat if anyone's still doing like PWE shipping or if you just send a letter to somebody.
Well, I'll tell you, you got to go, Mr. Magazine?
Yeah, a couple minutes.
I'll tell you a quick story. You'll love this one. We're talking about first day covers. I was at the Mayville Antique Show, or book show, paper show. I guess it's paper show. Do check it out. We do have a haul video. You'd think I know what it was called. Do check that haul video out. But a guy I was buying, he had first day covers out for $0.25 a piece. And I was picking through them and finding, some cool covers, cool envelopes, cool this, cool that I think could sell. And he goes, "Oh, you buy first day covers? I've got this over here." And he pulls this book out and he wanted $7 on it. And it had 163 first day covers in it. I'm like, all right. So I gave him $7. He goes, "It's got some stamps in here too, but the stamps are all stuck to the pages." I said, "Okay, whatever." I get home and I take them all out. The stamps were not stuck to the pages. And it was like $15 worth of postage.
Oh my
So I got $15 worth of postage plus the first day covers for $7.
Nice.
I think that if I can't make money on that, I really need to get out of the reselling business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a cool haul like that at some estate sale where I just bought, there was somebody's like photo album and it was like a professional or maybe just like a really good amateur photographer. And he had all these like really cool nature photos. They wanted like $5 for it. And there was like 200 photos in there. and I sold all of them for between 15 and 40 bucks a pop. It was
Wow.
crazy. One of my best hauls.
Actually, you got another minute. I'm going to show you what I found, Paul. You're going to love this. I showed Mr. Magazine this right before the store, or right before the show. So it's not sports cards, but I picked these up at a flea market this last week. Have you ever seen these? I don't know how well you can see them or not. Our background will screw it all up.
Oh, are those like the bike trading cards?
These
or
are
is that John Deere?
Yep, John Deere trading cards, tractor trading cards, and that stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen those before.
I feel like I might have, but I'm not sure.
So there are all these various sets. So the guy had a box, and he goes, "The whole box is $3."
There you go.
How much worth of plastic sheets is that?
You could probably sell them used for like 20 bucks shipped. Stuff them in a padded flat rate.
Yeah, that's more than $3 worth of sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've all got cards in them. So
they're all sets.
Yeah, they're all sets of the various tractor cards, all different tractor cards. So
you got to sell them in the sheets, though. I'll tell you that now, because to take them all out of the sheets.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to be selling these over on Whatnot by the set. So if you do like tractor stuff, come on over.
Nice.
Whatnot. But
cool.
Again,
I got to comp those now. I'm curious.
Got $3 into that. How do you go wrong? Mr. Magazine has to get going.
Paul, I got to head out, but let's talk and get together and let me know when you're coming back to Rochester, and I'll get you another load as well, and see when you could do that SEO with me for my website and beef up my eBay site.
Cool. Yeah. I'll be in touch. I have some vacation time coming up. I let my wife take a vacation on her own, visit family and all that good stuff, and I took care of the kids. So it'll be my turn soon, and we'll work something out.
So your wife went on the world tour vacation, and you're coming to Rochester?
Where else would I want to be?
She's getting the better end of that bargain. Of course, there's.
Oh man, I get to work and just work from when I wake up to when I go to bed, and I don't have any other responsibilities. Whew, that's a vacation.
Well, thank you for having us on. I appreciate it, Paul, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, likewise, guys. It was great. Thanks again.
All right.
Bye. Thanks everybody too for coming and checking it out.
Yep. And Paul is kind of new at this. No disrespect meant, Paul. Make sure that you do hit the like button. I don't think Don has yelled at anybody hit the like button yet. Definitely, if you are new to this, like and subscribe to both Paul and come on over to the Million Dollar Peddlers as well. Definitely would appreciate it. We try to. Mr. Magazine, did you grab the mail on the table? Okay. Right, I had mail going. I got to make sure it gets. Got to keep my customers happy. Got to keep that shipping time up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we do try to have a fun show over there, and hopefully we've to anybody new out there that's not checked us out, even if you're not heavy into paper reselling or all that. We do have bolo videos every Saturday, and we think they're a lot of fun as well. I know you watched a few of those, and they're fun. We try to entertain along with give information out, and I think that's one of the keys.
Definitely.
Thank you, Mike. Or is that Mike O'Leary? Thank you.
You didn't fail me, Dawn. I failed myself. Next time we do a live like this where I'm not using my phone, I'm gonna get a camera. I'm gonna order one. I'll text you for what, and you can tell me which one you have.
Yeah, no, ours is really good. The other nice thing, not to you noticed the background. Hopefully you like that. I thought you'd like that background.
Yeah.
Actually, it comes with you can go to Pexels, which is the free photo site. You can download a photo and put it right in, and that's how we change the background all the time. So you don't need a green screen or anything. It all just works right through the camera.
Oh, cool.
Because we used to use the green screen with nothing on it. That used to be our shtick, and now we've upgraded a little bit. We're getting big time now.
Yeah, I might have to do like a nice little display in the back, put some cards up and stuff. I don't know yet. Like, this is YouTube. It takes so much more work than people think, and I don't know, especially if it's like the side hobby of your side hobby. It's hard. But I'll at least buy a camera. I think I can figure that out.
Yeah, no. Your channel is definitely good. Your channel is definitely more of a deep dive kind of channel, which is good. And the one thing that we've always said over on our channel is you could do people can do the clickbait videos and all that stuff, or you kind of get stuck into the algorithm where, oh, I have to do this kind of video because that's what everybody wants. That's what the algorithm wants me to do. And one of the things that's always hurt us is we do videos that we want to do, but I'm happy and proud doing it. And I don't want to get pigeonholed where I got to do a haul video every single week. I've got to do this every single week. Yeah, we do the bolo every week, but that's fun and we enjoy it. And I think that that's probably, you're staying true to yourself, Paul, and I definitely respect that.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. It's honestly, it's mostly so that my wife doesn't have to hear me ranting about random eBay stuff. Like, I got this idea. I'm going to do this and that. Oh, and I found this patent. You're not going to believe the patent. Let me tell you about this for an hour. So this is kind of just saves her for that.
Tell it to the camera. Tell it to the camera.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get to meet other nerds. Like the one video I showed where I found out about the patent from. I got to talk to that guy for a while. And that was really cool. I'm going to try to get him on the channel sometime so we can go deeper into the patent, because we haven't talked about it enough this time, right?
Well, no, and again, that's the whole thing is, and that's the beautiful thing about YouTube as well, is there is an opportunity for everybody, no matter what it is. And you know that as well as I do. You sit there and you're like, I'm having a problem with my 1976 Toro lawnmower. And you can find somebody's video there on how to fix it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So pretty much anything that you want. And I will admit I was 100% wrong about something. I remember years ago, Google bought YouTube, and they paid at the time what seemed like an insane amount of money, a few $1 billion at the time, as I remember. And I remember saying, what are they why would they possibly do that? Because I had no idea at all what YouTube would become. And turns out, good thing they didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
They'd still be sponsoring Three's Company reruns, which
exactly.
But
yeah, people said the same thing when Facebook bought Instagram, and I don't know, I feel like Instagram's probably bigger than Facebook now, probably in terms of hours spent on the site, but I don't know.
Certainly with the demographics, it's a different demographic and a better demographic as far as they're concerned for the advertisers than the fuddy-duddies that tend to use Facebook. Although I just read that Gen Z is starting to move back over to Facebook a little bit, at least for the marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, they all want to sell on eBay. So they got to go source.
Yeah. But no, we definitely enjoyed it. Definitely had a lot of fun tonight, and you did fine. You did fine for your first live show, and you did fine for your first interview. And I, again, it's. You do it a little differently than we do because you actually had questions. I don't tend to have questions. I just fly by the seat of my pants.
I just had like 4 questions, and I kind of knew, like, well, when I start ranting about the store stuff, that'll go for a while. So, and then the origin story, that's just me being selfish. That's just what I wanted to know. So hopefully somebody here wanted to know too. Maybe some of your viewers snuck over here and they got to find out.
And you didn't ask me if I would be a tree. What kind of tree would I be? That's always the stock question.
Oh, well, which tree would you be?
Weeping willow.
There you go.
It's the only tree that comes to mind. I don't know.
I'd be the one in your car that doesn't smell anymore, and you got to throw it out, but you never do.
Oh, there you go. There's plenty of old paper in my car. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I drive a lot of ephemera around Rochester regularly.
Nice.
All righty. So thank you for having us on. If you go up in the corner, that's how you stop it.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thanks again, everybody, for coming by. And
I'll stay on for after. So.
All right.
So like and subscribe.